like what is stressing you out? Is it something you're putting off? And if it's something you're putting off, just do it. And I find that's the best attitude I personally have, because which is, do you have any tips or tricks to reduce stress? I find I struggle with this a lot, and it actually takes a physical toll on me.
So this is a fantastic question. Honestly, I know a lot of people who are just constantly stressed, and similar to this question for this person, like taking that physical toll, it's one of those things that can negatively affect every area of our life, right? Our mindset, our physical health, our emotional, the way we interact with others. And I am such a big fan of just tackling this head on. Now, one thing I will say is that stress will come and go. Like I think I used to have the mindset of like always trying to get rid of stress, but instead of having that mindset, I'm a big fan of just managing stress. So having typical day-to-day protocols that will just help me consistently manage it, whether it's just a really stressful time, it's like, hey, it's not that I can get this stress to go away, because there will always be things that pop up. And when I used to think that it would be always gone, then something next would happen. Like something would happen in my car, and then something house related, and then work related. And I'm like, hey, it's always going to happen. There's always going to be things that just like bother me and just make me stressed out. But it's like, if I can react to it and have these things in place, it makes such a big difference. So my biggest tip is just like, ask yourself what stresses you out and what helps you when you're stressed. And I've got a list of things here of like things that really bother me and constantly add to me being stressed. And this is the first step, is like actually being aware of this, because I think some people just go about their lives like not really being aware at all. And for me, I know leaving things to the last second, always, like I just feel my body just feel weird when I'm just leaving something that has to get done till the last second. Being late is another thing. Like I just get, no matter what, if I'm like around the time where I have to be there at a certain time and I'm a few minutes late, I just don't live by that standard. So I feel myself like in my body just feeling weird. I got to give myself more time. I'm not going to be late, and I won't let it happen. Scrolling and comparing, that's another thing that leaves me feeling stressed, because you're always, sitting on your phone looking at other people's lives. Like I use social media and I get it, but it's just, I'm not going to allow that to stress me out like it does for others. And then I have a list of things that helps me personally, such as meditation. This morning I sat outside. It's a beautiful day. And morning, 10 minutes of Wim Hof meditation. I felt great. I feel grounded. I feel, incredible even after a not so great sleep. Meditation helps, walks, and then short breaks. So there's a list of things, and I know Josh probably has more that helps him decrease stress, but those three alone, even lifting alone, I've never left the gym feeling worse unless there was an injury, which has like been maybe a few times out of thousands of lifts. These are things that really help me out, and I'm curious to see what Coach Josh has to say.
Yeah, all killer tips. And for me, more than anything with stress, I think you can get rid of a lot of stress with preparation and really analyzing like what is stressing you out. Is it something you're putting off? And if it's something you're putting off, just do it. And I find that's the best attitude I personally have, because usually when there's something over my head and I'm overthinking it and it's just stressful overall, there's such an opportunity for me to say, okay, how can I just go get started on it? And even if I don't complete it, if you start taking actionable steps, it makes it a little bit less scary. And I find that actually can really resolve some stress. If stress is a result of perhaps like overworking at your work and not having time for yourself, like sometimes we need to make some hard decisions and say like, is this job sustainable? Or can I talk with people at my work and try to work out better hours or something like that? Like you need to look at your individual situation. And they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting it to change. So if you're just doing the same things and you're stressed about it and you just hope it gets better, hope isn't a strategy, and it's not going to get better whatsoever. And I like Kyle's points too of like there are actionable things you can do to de-stress and feel a little bit better. But more importantly for me, the biggest thing is like, what is that thing I can actively do? What is that position that's really messing me up? And then just getting out and getting it done. And doing that to me is such a big mover. I find another great thing too is scheduling some time for yourself, whether that's time to recover, to lift, to go on a walk, or even just to be bored. Sometimes doing nothing and allowing yourself to be a little bit bored when you've done everything else, of course, is a really good feeling. And to the position of stress, one thing I've always loved is like using whatever stress is in front of me as an opportunity to get out there, knock out that thing. And then once that thing's knocked out, I actually am able to relax and just be in a better position. Whereas sometimes we'll be like, I need to relax. We'll have a thing over our head. We'll be on edge about it and we'll still be in a bad place. So it really helps no one out whatsoever. So getting in front of that, analyzing what is that thing that's stressing me out and just facing it head on is my biggest tip.
Yeah, it honestly makes such a big difference. But I think like having those different integrations throughout the day will help so many different ways. And I even like will say having things to look forward to can be really exciting. I know we always talk about it, but just specific events, like I think it's so easy to just get kind of like life takes over, right? You're always doing something for other people. You say, hey, I don't have time for myself. Like you have kids and you're always, running around doing stuff for them. And then at the same time, like even work wise, right? I know people with their bosses, they always have projects and deadlines and everything for other people. But when you're able to sit down and say, hey, I'm going to do my own thing. Like I'm going to take this time to just, I love that what Josh said about just doing nothing, because I'm so bad at that. Like I always feel the need to just be doing something. And anytime I sit there, like for a few minutes, even if it's just a short break, it leaves me feeling so incredible. So I will say that makes such a big difference. And I know this is probably one of the hardest tips for people to take in, but I will say, like, when you are feeling stressed, like, part of me wants to just say, don't stress, and even sometimes I'll notice people getting a little bit worried. I'm like, hey, no stress, like, it's all good. So I've actively tried hard, and I still could do better at this, is just like not worrying over the small things. And we've talked about this a few times, so I won't spend too much time on it, but I think a lot of people just get so worked up over, and they call it fear, false events appearing real, of all these thoughts and these things like in the future. And you get so worried and in your head, and you can tell when someone's really stressed and worried and they're kind of doing it to themselves, right? So I really encourage you to just like chill out a bit, take a few seconds, take a few deep breaths. And that's why I say meditation's so great, because when you take a few deep breaths and when you become grateful, it makes such a big difference to realize like, hey, you know what? Like it's all good. Just try not to think about it. You only focus on the things you can control. It makes such a big difference. So I really hope this helped and helps you change your life in one way or another.
Yeah, and another bonus tip, if you will, I think we're the least stressed when we actively feel like we're taking control of where we want to be in life and we're living in stride with our vision for our life. I find personally I'm the most stressed if I feel I'm going away from my vision of what I'm trying to do, whether it's with my discipline, my health, my vision, whatever it may be. When I'm out of alignment with that, usually that's just when you feel a little bit uneasy. So you got to ask yourself, like, is that also because you're eating bad food and you're in this vicious cycle perhaps where you're not taking care of yourself and you're skipping workouts and then you eat a bunch of bad food, then you go and punish yourself in the gym maybe, and it's just this weird messed up cycle, because that can also contribute to the stress that much more. And I love in this question too the example of the stress affecting you physically. Stress absolutely will affect you physically. It's quite a toll. It's actually crazy that you can feel stress in terms of like your body and the effect of it. So it's really important to you do account for some self-care, obviously optimizing for great sleeps, and most importantly being in line with that vision. And if you're just stuck and you can't get in line with your vision, that's where you need to get some help. That's where you need to get some support. And if you look back in your life, whenever you're like, oh, I was super fit, I was cooking, or it was the best time I've ever been with my work, I would guess you're not too stressed. And there's been times where I've had like a crazy load and there's been crazy demand. Obviously this challenge was amazing. It was so great, like bringing tons of people in, getting everyone set up, getting my clients set up, getting myself fired up. And I just felt like I was working nonstop, just boom, 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 doing things. But I wouldn't say I was stressed, because I was doing what I love and I was happy. I was helping people and it was in step with my vision. I think usually stress can also be because we feel outside of that. So that's just a little extra bonus thing I wanted to mention.
That was so well said. It instantly got me thinking of another thing I didn't mention, was just like not doing the things I should be doing. And I just can think of so many examples of like, let's just say you have a really busy day ahead and you knew you should have worked out, you knew you should have walked. For me, like some things that I would skip out on maybe would be, let's just say for the business, I know I need to wake up early, do a bunch of things. The rest of the day, I will be stressed if I don't do it, because it's always on the top of my head. So I know that that's something I need to get done, even if it's a busy day. Okay, get up earlier and get it done, right? So that's where it's like sometimes doing the harder thing where like you want to sleep in, you want to kind of put it off and procrastinate, ends up being so much worse, even though you feel better because you got a bit more sleep, let's just say, or you got to like lay in bed a bit longer. It ends up eating away at you. And I know this personally because I've done it a few times and it's just never a good feeling. So yeah, so well said. Being fulfilled is one of the greatest things to lead to less stress, and such great answers here.